The National Lotteries Commission has a new board which includes the former head of the Asset Forfeiture Unit at the National Prosecuting Authority, that's Willie Hofmeyr. The commission has been plagued by corruption. Now, earlier this month, the Special Investigating Unit raiding the National Lotteries offices in Kimberley, seizing documents and laptops related to alleged fraud and maladministration dating back to the year 2014. Joining me now is one of the board members newly appointed there at the NLC board, Willie Hofmeyr. Mr. Hofmeyr, thank you very much for making the time. Have you started your work yet as a board member?
Indeed, we've already had a long meeting to try and get up to speed with what has been happening.
All right. And what are you expecting to find? The reports have been coming thick and fast, especially in recent days, alleging that members of the previous board may have decided that they were going to involve themselves allegedly in acts of corruption. What do you expect to find?
Perhaps I should just say that, about 5 or 6 years ago when I was still at the Special Investigating Unit, we actually did investigate the Lotteries Commission at that time. And there was significant wrongdoing. So I can't say I was entirely surprised that there has been problems at the Commission again. But I must say that I have a lot of confidence in Minister Patel, and he is really pushing us very hard to ensure that we unearth the wrong things that have happened and that we deal with them decisively. And, that is very important, that we have the political backing for the work, tough work that has to be done to unearth all the wrongdoing.
Yeah. You are an attorney by trade, Mr. Hofmeyr, and I suppose that is perhaps one of the reasons you are among the newly appointed board members there. And you've already mentioned that this entity would have been investigated some time ago, and there was indeed significant amount of wrongdoing. What do you bring as your strength into this board? And South Africans, I suppose, are hungry to see people in orange overalls, ultimately.
Indeed, we would all like that. But let me just say this is not a one-person show. There's a significant number of people on the new board. And I must say I was very impressed at our first board meeting that has just happened about the commitment and the skills of the other people on the board. So I do think that we're on the right track, but it probably is going to take some while to unearth all the things that went wrong.
Yeah. We have seen a number of reports, Mr. Hofmeyr, and in particular reports alleging wrongdoing on the part of the recently departed chairperson of that board. When I say he's departed, he's left the position. Do you think that he has a case to answer, the professor?
I don't want to comment too early because we are still coming to terms with all the volumes of papers that we have been given to look at. But certainly things went very wrong under the previous board. I'm not going to say who specifically was responsible for that, but I suppose ultimately the chairperson must bear the overall responsibility.
One of the major concerns when an entity becomes mired in controversy like the NLC has become, the element of trust goes very quickly. What do you think needs to happen now in order for there to be confidence in this new board, but more importantly, that whatever it is that you do as board members, it is trusted, in particular, by, the people who have appointed you?
Indeed, and I do think that you're quite right, that trust is going to be very, very important. Because the Lottery Commission is also a very important part of funding many projects and grassroots activities throughout the country that helps with poverty alleviation and many other things. So I don't want to say too much until we've really gotten into the meat of what we have to investigate.
Yeah.
But I do think as I said, that I've got a lot of confidence in the Minister, and he certainly is very committed to ensuring that we deal with the rot in the organisation.
All right. You may not want to say a lot, Mr. Hofmeyr, and I'm certainly not going to force you, but perhaps as a parting shot, do you think that the processes at the NLC, and in particular the processes that have to do with giving money to deserving organizations that do the work of, uplifting poorer communities, do you think that those systems need a complete overhaul based on what has happened?
I think certainly we have to look very carefully at the processes and systems in the organization. But I do think that we have a pretty clean sweep of the board now, and ultimately many of these decisions get taken at the board level. So I do have some confidence that we will be able to get the Lotteries Commission back on track and doing the job that it is supposed to do, which is to help with poverty alleviation and many other things that it is busy with at the moment. It is a vital resource to our country.
Thank you very much for your time, Willie Hofmeyr, a newly appointed board member of the National Lotteries Commission. Lots of allegations of corruption around that particular organization.